Locker Room. I am your host, Justin Lindler. I am joined by two guests this time. It's their first time on the show. I'm joined by Tom Santaniello, and I'm joined by Evan Newton. Thank you guys for joining me today.
No Pleasure to be here.
We're just going to dive right in. Tiger Woods won his first major last weekend for the first time since 2013. What did you think of Tiger? How do you think he played? How often do you think this kind of performance will be consistent with him again? What do you think, Evan?
I kind of it's Tiger, so he's been working back to everything. I feel like that win meant a lot more to him than some of the past ones because he had to work so hard from it.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it's Tiger. So like, what if this was just the hump for him? What if he just needed to get this one out of the way and now he's feeling himself? It's a question mark, but he's going to stay relevant and he's probably going to stay in the conversation up there for a while. Tiger's back.
Yeah. Someone said it earlier. Tiger Woods is golf, and I firmly believe that.
Absolutely.
Tiger Woods is definitely the face of golf. When Tiger's playing well, the whole sport of golf is just more publicized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's better for everyone when Tiger's playing well and winning majors. I agree with what Evan had to say. I think that he just needed to get that monkey off his back. Mm-hmm. He's been hovering around first for the past couple of majors, and now he finally got that. Mm-hmm. I think this is the best we're going to see of Tiger for the rest of his career. I think he'll find a way to win 1, 2, maybe even 3 majors before he calls it quits. Mm-hmm. But if he's going to win, he's got a 1 to 2 year window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely feels like there's been some kind of like dark cloud hanging over Tiger's head the past few years.
100%.
So moving on to Major League Baseball, the playoffs start next week on Tuesday with the wild card rounds. We don't know what the games are yet. There's still games to be played to determine that. But based on the teams we know that are in, who do you guys like? Who do you guys think has the best chance at winning? We'll start with you this time, Tom.
As far as who has the best chance, I'd have to ride the Red Sox because throughout the year their offense has been able to carry them, and even when they're having a bad day, that pitching staff is very impressive. However, I don't think that they're going to be able to put it together. They're one of those teams that I don't think shows up in the postseason consistently enough, so I'm going to buy in on Cleveland. I think they're starting to play their best baseball now. If Josh Donaldson turns it around and gets back to that MVP form, they're going to be one of the best teams in baseball.
Yeah, were you, Evan?
I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm more of an NL kind of guy. I like Boston, but I kind of like what you're saying with how they fade off in the end, like whether it's their pitching staff or those bats. I like the Cubs. I feel like it's all kind of coming. They added a few more pieces when they were struggling, and obviously they're the first seed. But I also like the Dodgers because the Dodgers are having trouble, and if they can make it in, they're one of those teams that usually seems to heat up for some reason. Like you're just like, oh, there's the Dodgers. I like their chances. I know the Braves are the hometown team, but I wonder about them just because of their talent. I don't know if it pieces together that well, especially when it comes to the postseason and stacking up against some of these other teams.
Yeah, I do agree with what both of you guys said. For me, I think the Red Sox do have, if we go by the theory of numbers never lie, it's the Red Sox right now, the league's best record. Over 100 wins this year, which isn't an easy thing to do. In the NL, I do like the Dodgers, and I think the Braves might surprise some people this year.
You never know. It's the Braves.
All right.
They might be one of those teams that's a year or two away.
Maybe. They're a fairly young team. But the future does look bright for the Atlanta Braves, I think.
Yeah, they could pull a Cubs and...
You never know. Yeah. Next thing you know, the World Series are like, how did y'all get here?
Right. All right, let's move on into some NFL predictions for this week. The Miami Dolphins are traveling to New England to play the Patriots. If I told you one of these teams were 3-0 and one was 1-2, you believe the Patriots were the 3-0 team, but it's the other way around. Dolphins undefeated heading into New England. Patriots coming off of 2 terrible weeks of performance. Evan, who do you like in this game?
My first instinct was like, you take the undefeated team. The Patriots are down. Kick them while they're down, but it's also the Patriots, back up against the wall. They're at Foxborough. This is a division rival, and this is a chance. Miami can go 4-up, and then they're ahead of the Patriots big time in the division. So it's just one of those games you feel like if it's the other team, they lose. If it's anybody else, but it's the Patriots. Like it's Belichick. They're going to find a way. I don't see them losing that one, to be honest with you.
Yeah. What about you, Tom?
Right. I think the Patriots, I don't think it's going to be pretty. I think that they're going to have to get better play on both sides of the ball. They're going to have to find a way to get the ball to Gronkowski because when he's not going, you saw it the past 2 weeks, their offense just can't move. But I think they're going to find a way to win. Everyone likes to hit the panic button whenever the Patriots struggle early on. Right. But we've seen it before. And I think if they lose this game, there'll be some credibility to that panic. But right now, you got to ride the Patriots.
Yeah. I'm going to disagree with both of you guys. I like the Dolphins. I think they're riding a hot streak, and people just expect the Patriots to come back and be the Patriots, which is fair point for both of you, but I think the Dolphins aren't going to come over and just bend over for these guys. So I really do like the Dolphins in this game.
I think regardless, it'll be a great game.
It's gonna be a good game. I like it.
Regardless, the matchup, it looks really well together. So
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to see vintage Brady, where the Dolphins have it in the fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden he gets really mad on the sideline and he doesn't throw any completion.
And I'm predicting a really big game from Danny Amendola. Get some payback on the Patriots.
Maybe. I can see it. He does seem to have that little fire against the way he talked about during the offseason. So you never know. Yeah.
Next up, we got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Nashville to play the Tennessee Titans. Carson Wentz made his return last week. Didn't look as great as people would like. What do you think about the Patriots? Or what do you think about the Eagles, and the Titans this week, Tom?
I think the Eagles win this one pretty handily, to be quite honest with you. I think that the Titans have been playing with fire. I don't really think they're as good as the record would indicate. And I think that Carson Wentz is going to find his groove, and he's going to be able to use some of those weapons he has. And that defense is just going to be too overwhelming for Blaine Gabbert or Marcus Mariota, whoever goes out there.
Evan?
I agree with you on that one. I think that because they're getting Alshon Jeffrey back, and something that was big, whether it was Nick Foles or Carson Wentz, was lack of weapons. I also think that Mariota's questionable status and the fact that Gabbert got hurt too, so neither of them are really at 100%. But I think it just doesn't bode well for the Titans with everything that's going on. They're still going to be missing. I think it's one of their offensive linemen, pretty big against a Philly defense like that. That's a big deal. Even though it's at home for the Titans, I just don't see it matching up well. I think Eagles take this one, like you said, pretty handedly.
Yeah, I like the Eagles in this one too, just for the reason you guys have stated. I think Carson Wentz, like you said, will find his groove, get back into things where he's more comfortable. I do like. I think Alshon Jeffrey will be a big help to those guys. It's the Eagles for me this week. It's just the Eagles.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, It feels like it.
So Baker Mayfield will be making his first NFL career start when the Browns head out to Oakland to play the Raiders. Evan, who do you like in this one?
Okay, I know I'm going to be that guy, but I'm not going to ride with the Browns on this one. I think the Raiders are so desperate. It's John Gruden back as the coach. There was one against the Rams.
You're telling me you're doubting the Cleveland Browns?
Oh, yeah, I know. It's crazy, right? I'm the only one. It's just because the Raiders, they've done so much work, and they have the guys to do it, to put together a solid team. They're kind of questionable on defense, but they shouldn't have lost some of these games the way they have. And I think that against a Browns team that's still kind of riding high from that, I know it's one win, but they're still kind of riding high. I feel like they kind of get Baker and throw him some things he's not expecting. I just think they pull that one off.
Tom?
I'm all in on Baker. I think I liked what I saw from him in the second half against the Jets. I know the Raiders are probably a little bit better than the Jets, but I just like the way Baker played. I think it was nice to see the Browns rally around him. I think that defense is legit. I think if that defense was on any other roster besides the Browns, we'd be talking about them a lot more. And Derek Carr just hasn't been what everyone expects him to be. So until I see more out of him, I'm not comfortable taking him against a defense like the Browns where they're going to have pressure in his face all game long.
And I think something to add to that is because we don't know what we're going to see, because the Jets, there was conflicting reports as to whether they actually prepared for Baker or not. The head coach said they did, and then Jamal Adams said, we didn't even know he was coming in. We planned for Tyrod. We had a good game plan. So, it could be totally different when they throw Baker different things because he runs a different style of offense. So I think it'll be a really good test for Baker, even though it's not that great of a defense, just the looks they'll throw him and whatnot.
Yeah, something I don't think people take into consideration is that it is a road game for Baker in his first career start, and it's in Oakland. Oakland's very passionate fans, very loud and rowdy people. I think Baker, if he wants to have a good game, he's got to come out early. He's got to play good from the very get-go. If he messes up in the first two drives, he's not going to have a good game. Those fans will eat him alive.
Yeah, but I think this is where the Khalil Mack thing comes back to haunt the Raiders again, because you obviously want to rattle a rookie quarterback. Who do the Raiders have that's going to get in Baker's face?
It's kind of hard if there's nobody there to do it. Yeah, you kind of just let them have all that time in the world. That's been the thing. They have, I think I saw a stat, it was 13 pressures up against, Khalil Mack having that already just by himself, the whole defense having 13 pressures as opposed to one guy just who could have done that double. It's crazy to see how much one guy can affect that defense, and you just wonder, what was he thinking? I don't know how you let that kind of player go, but,
It's a business.
Yeah, you're right.
Though, that being said, I'm going to say Baker is going to have a good game. I think Baker's going to have a good game, and I think the Browns are going to take it in Oakland. Then Sunday night, the Baltimore Ravens are heading to play their division rivals, Pittsburgh Steelers, at Heinz Field. Evan, who do you like?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I'm gonna ride with the Steelers on this one. You know, the Ravens have a better record than the Steelers right now, but I think the Steelers are kind of getting it together. They kind of had all that drama going at the beginning of the season. It didn't seem like everything was meshing that great at first with all the drama and turmoil, but it seems like that Buccaneers win really helped them kind of turn it around. Like, you know, he was getting out to all of his weapons. Even the loss to the Chiefs before, Big Ben was still on fire, and I kind of think that he continues on with that against the Ravens. It's at home. You know, those games are always really interesting, regardless of how bad those records are, and I think it'll be a great game. But I think the Steelers are able to come on top of that just because of the firepower and their defense seemed to come together last week. So,
Tom?
Yeah, I think they're starting to move on from the when is Le'Veon Bell coming back. I think that they're adjusted to life without him. I think they're comfortable moving forward with James Conner. And Antonio Brown got involved last week, which was just huge for that offense. So now they have two legitimate number one options with Juju Smith-Schuster and Antonio Brown.
Yeah. For me this week, I think the Steelers definitely got the win that they needed last week on the road. It'd be nice for them to be back at home, and it's a night game. That'll definitely play a part. I think Pittsburgh pulls this one out of the bag. And lastly, on Monday night, we have the red-hot Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Denver, Colorado to play the Broncos. Tom, who do you like in this one?
It's hard to bet against Mahomes right now.
It is.
He's got to come back down to earth eventually, but I don't think it's this week against the Broncos, who are a little suspect on both sides of the ball right now.
I agree with you on that, just because I think that, you know, Chris Harris Jr. was saying that they have to throw him different looks. But thing is, if the Kansas City O-line, which has been awesome this season, goes up against really good D-line, and the secondary has been kind of, like you said, it's been suspect. I mean, how can you throw him those looks? He's going to be getting the same looks he's supposed to get from the Steelers and from the Chargers. Like, I just don't see that happening yet. So I think that he continues to ride it, and that even though there's been a lot of knocks on the Kansas City defense this year, just because the same issues kind of with the Raiders. Like, there has been a lot of pressure. But also, Case Keenum's been super erratic. He's 3 touchdowns against 5 interceptions. Like, he just hasn't looked comfortable in that system yet. And I don't think this is a game where he gets comfortable in it yet. I think that this is just kind of one of those things where he struggles again, even though it's a team that he really shouldn't struggle against. But, you know, Mahomes keeps carrying him on top and just keeps scoring. So, yeah, I don't see him going down this game.
Yeah, I don't think Mahomes is going to throw 6 touchdowns again.
But, I don't think so either, but
I definitely think Mahomes is definitely not ready to quit this fire he's got going right now. I think he's going to continue to play well. The offensive line is stellar. I don't think that the Denver Broncos are going to be able to contain them at this point in the game, but who knows? Being in Denver will help the Broncos.
it's the NFL too. The Vikings just lost to the Buffalo team. Like, anything can happen.
That's true.
It's week to week.
Very true. But in this case, I do think the Chiefs will remain undefeated going into Week 5. Well, thank you guys for joining me this week. I enjoyed talking with you guys. Hopefully have you guys back on again sometime soon.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, anytime. So I've been Justin Lindler, and thank you for watching. We'll be right back next week.